My name is Constance, and this is Cruelty Free Musings. Welcome back to a very exciting end of year empties. It's going to be minuscule. Don't worry, I haven't used up a ton of stuff. It's because it turns out that when you only have one of most of things, you go through things more quickly but also more slowly because you're not perpetually using up the ends of things. So, this will be a very small empties because, as I mentioned, we are moving and I don't want to move a box of trash. So, let's hop into it. Let's start with hair. Guys, do you remember this Neutrogena clarifying shampoo? Yeah, this was in my pan to get stuff out of my collection and I failed to use it up. I used it, and well, that's the last mark that I have on it. I think I used it, I don't remember when I wrapped my project pan in September, yeah. So I used about, that much over a month and a half. So, not surprising that I basically used it up over the last portion of the year. Yes, I know that there's technically shampoo left in here. I am not washing my hair as much, so I'm wanting the shampoo that I use to do more like volumizing things for my hair, which this does not. And also, it's really difficult to get this out, at this stage. Like, I was storing it upside down, but because the cap is curved, I don't know if you can really see that, but the cap is curved and it's also really small, so it's not stable to store upside down, so it would always get knocked over, and then I would have to sit there like this for ever and ever to get shampoo out, and it's just not worth it to use up the last use of this shampoo. Next thing, we'll do this. I used up an Ulta Beauty brush and sponge cleaner, non-drying and conditioning. It's a little liquid. The sprayer nozzle on this is not great. I won't spray it because, one, I don't want to spray brush cleaner all over everywhere, and two, this smells a lot like lavender. I don't love the smell of lavender, which is weird because my favorite tea is Earl Grey, and that is very highly lavender based. I guess it's lavender and bergamot, which is very citrusy, so yeah, this is straight lavender. It's very heavily scented. When I was spraying it on my brushes, the smell would be very overwhelming because it would be atomized. The smell actually goes everywhere. So when it got down to about there, the spray started being erratic and I was like, forget it. I unscrewed it and I poured it into a little, lid top to a plastic container that I have that I use to clean brushes. So I got a massive thing of Q-tips, I think, or sponge tip applicators or something. And so I use the top of that container to be like a little, swirl a brush in and get cleaner all over it sort of vehicle. So I used this up. What that means, it's a fine brush cleaner, but I hated the smell. Lavender gives me a headache. And especially since this is a spray bottle, I hated it when I was spraying it on my brushes. Not an enjoyable brush cleaning experience at all. I have the blender cleanser, the liquid blender cleanser now, and it smells much nicer. Probably also of lavender. But whatever. Alright, skincare. Let's go with these disgusting things. All right, this was my eye cream. It's from the Body Shop, the Body Shop Vitamin E eye cream, 48 hours, with vitamin E and wheat germ oil with bio-fermented hyaluronic acid from Pomaclé, France. It's fine. It is a nice hydrating eye cream. I will give it that. It didn't smell inoffensive. It worked. It was fine. It's just an eye cream though. I am using a Derma E one right now, which this one is 15 mils. I think that one that one's probably also 30 mils, but it comes in a little tub. I haven't used it very much yet. We'll see if it makes a difference. I got it because it has peptides and collagens in it, and I was like, oh, that sounds nice for my under eyes, so we will see. And having peptides in my sunscreen really helped my face, so we will see how having peptides in my eye cream helps my under eyes in about 5 weeks, because that's how long it takes skincare to actually make a difference. And then this is my cleansing oil. It has lint all over it. Don't worry about it. I store my Empties box on top of my dryer. So my apartment is very small. We're moving to a house. I will not be storing my Empties box on top of my dryer anymore. This is the Tatcha Pure One Step Camellia Cleansing Oil. I have replaced this already. I love this cleansing oil. It's really nice. It cleans everything very thoroughly off my face. A plus plus. All right. And then the last things that we have are makeup. So this is an Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, deluxe size sample. You can see that I scraped it pretty good, and I decided to purchase the mini, which is significantly larger than this, on the basis of this sample, because it does extend the wear of the foundation that I'm wearing currently, which is the Milani Conceal and Perfect, and it makes my Burt's Bees Goodness Glows actually go on and not pick up on it. It doesn't apply nicely if I don't have the mineral veil. It picks up on itself, so it anti-builds. You'll spread it all over your face, and then if you don't get it tapped in all over evenly on the first pass, if you try and go back and pounce whatever's in the sponge onto, like, my nose is typically red and my chin, if I try and pick up a little bit more off my hand and pounce it on, it'll pick up and like go back into the sponge instead of building on itself and sticking to my skin. This helps with that application problem. So this primer is expensive, but it is worth it for the short term to make these foundations work that little bit better. I won't be buying the Burt's Bees foundation again once I finish it, because it is a little bit too problematic to work with, and I find that the shade match for the Milani is just as good. Even maybe a little bit better. I think that the Milani is a little bit more pink, where the Burt's Bees is a little more yellow, and it makes me look very pale because it cancels out the natural blush in my cheeks. Yes. I have lots of opinions about things. Speaking of things that I have opinions about, this is the, again, disgusting, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Concealer in the Treatment Concealer in the shade Fair. This is too dark on my skin. If Maybelline were a brand that I were buying, which it is not, because Maybelline is not a cruelty-free brand, and this is a cruelty-free channel, stated prominently in the title, then they recently released a lighter shade called Ivory. I would pick up that shade instead, because It's fine on my face, but on my under eyes it oxidizes and turns kind of a dark peach. So I use this up as a foundation and a face concealer, and it was not great in that application because it kind of, you know, if you have an acne scar with the kind of dried skin around it, it'll gather in the dried skin and emphasize it and make it more prominent. So I like this as an under eye concealer. My opinion has gone back and forth about this. In the final conclusion, having used up all of this, I like this as an under eye concealer. I don't like it as a face concealer. I find that it cakes up when I'm trying to use it as a foundation. This is a fine shade match for me for a foundation, but I don't like the way that it looks on my skin. And that might change if I put a different primer underneath it, who knows. We won't unless Maybelline decides to go the CoverGirl route and become cruelty-free. And this is, if you're wondering about this tape, this was also in my project to get things out of my collection. So the tape is on it to let me mark and date my progress. You can see that I did actually use it consistently over the course of the pan. It did take me until last week to finish the last dregs because I did run into some problems, as I mentioned, using it as a foundation, which is the thing that I was going to try to do at the conclusion of my project. Anyway, this is gone. This is my last non-cruelty-free concealer out of my collection. I am very happy about it. And then the last thing, this is the Eyeko Black Magic Mascara Drama and Curl. It is a waterproof tubing mascara. It's fine. It doesn't... So the appearance stays pretty much the same over the entire course of using it. So that's a benefit, I would say. It doesn't change how it looks on your lashes. But it's not volumizing enough for me. It doesn't give me volume at the base of my lashes. So it ends up clumping the tips together and making them look spidery as I build. It does build on itself nicely. Not my favorite mascara. It did start smudging under my eyes at about the 11-week mark. So this one has a definite shelf life of not quite 3 months. And that's my empties, you guys. It's a short one, but clearing out my trash preparatory to moving. I hope you enjoyed or learned something or both. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you feel like. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for